Hey all, I just wanted to get on here and do a little astrology update. So today is Wednesday, December 13, and yesterday we just had a new moon, right? So this was on the 12th of December. We had a new moon in Sagittarius. And that new moon was squaring Neptune in Pisces, which I think is particularly interesting to look at. A new moon is a time of kind of sowing the seed. There's a sort of an initiatory type of energy. It's more inward, it's more restful, but there's something that's being planted, something that's being, planted to expand upon. So in Sagittarius, Sagittarius is the archer's bow. Sagittarius is really about having a vision and having a kind of grand, long-range sort of vision, having direction in a way. Sagittarius is not always the most practical, though. This vision can be a little bit over the top, maybe, in a way. So the square to Neptune is particularly interesting. This is Neptune in Pisces, right? Which Neptune has just stationed direct in Pisces. It's at 24 degrees. The square to Neptune, it brings a sort of illusion into the vision in a way. Neptune correlates to the divine. Neptune correlates to the sea of the collective unconscious. Neptune, at its best, is like divine love, and at its worst is really like deception and illusion and delusion. Neptune kind of correlates to another level of reality that we're not usually in touch with, so when it's squaring a new moon like this, Neptune can sort of bring in this illusion type of quality to the new moon, right? So new moon in Sagittarius, having a vision but a square from Neptune, it brings in kind of maybe a more fantastical element to the vision, but there's a little illusion about what's really possible here, something that you may be tricking yourself into thinking that it's real, kind of at its lowest manifestation. At its highest manifestation, a square from Neptune is actually just kind of bringing in this like information from another realm, a realm that's really kind of beyond this reality, a higher energetic realm, and it's sort of imbuing the moment with this type of energy. A square is not exactly comfortable, right? A square is a dynamic aspect. It brings change. So a square from Neptune might be you're kind of having your own vision for your own life, and then Neptune comes in and brings you these sort of like messages from something higher than yourself, right? And that's not always the most comfortable thing to have put on you, or the most comfortable thing to go through. But it's for the better in the end, So interesting that now today, right, the day after the new moon, Mercury is stationing retrograde. So Mercury stations retrograde like 3 times a year for about 3 weeks. This time it's going to be retrograde until January 1st. So, a lot of people are really scared about Mercury retrogrades. Mercury retrograde is a pretty normal thing. It happens often, and it just gives us a chance to reflect, re-examine. Sometimes it's simply that we have to redo certain things that deal with Mercury, and the things that deal with Mercury, Mercury is the left brain function. Mercury is communication, it's logic, it's logical and rational thinking, it's how we take in information. Interesting that Mercury is now retrograde the day after this new moon, which, the new moon in Sagittarius was so much about this vision, right? And vision with a possible illusion or delusion in it. So now Mercury retrograde comes in and sort of gives this chance for us to re-examine that moment, re-examine that vision, how real is what I thought was real, you know, whatever may have gone down yesterday, whatever may have happened, right? How real is it? How does that actually apply to my daily life? How does this change my routine? How does this maybe change the way that I communicate, right? Mercury is about communication. And, being that Mercury is in Capricorn right now, right? Capricorn is giving Mercury this slower, more thorough type of process, right? Capricorn's an earth sign. It's cardinal earth, but it's earth. Earth moves a lot slower than fire. And Mercury tends to move very quickly, right, in itself. So Capricorn is really kind of slowing down and stabilizing the Mercury function. It's giving it a lot of practicality. So Sagittarius doesn't necessarily have a lot of practicality. Neptune doesn't have a lot of practicality, right? So we just had this new moon that's a lot of impracticality, and then Mercury now retrograde, re-examining everything that it's gone through in a very practical sign, Capricorn, gives us a chance to really reflect on what happened yesterday in the new moon, gives us a chance to reflect and a chance to really try and integrate it, because Mercury is not inherently about integration so much. However, Mercury rules Virgo. Virgo is a lot about kind of integration. It is a lot about finding a place for the information that comes in. But Mercury in Capricorn and Mercury retrograde is more about integration, right? Because there's such a reflective quality to it. This station, right, this Mercury stationing retrograde is also making a sextile to Venus in Scorpio, and it's making a trine to Jupiter in Taurus, right? Venus is at 11 degrees of Scorpio. Mercury right now is at 8 degrees of Capricorn, and Jupiter is at 6 degrees of Taurus. Venus and Jupiter are both considered to be the benefic planets, right? So in a way, they're helping Mercury out a lot. Venus in Scorpio with the sextile to Mercury is helping to bring a kind of inward deep dive quality to the mercurial reflection, right? Now it's not just about facts and data and incoming information. Now it's a little more about what do I actually think, and Venus in Scorpio is really asking, what do I feel, and what do I desire, what do I want? And Jupiter in Taurus, right, because Jupiter is right brain, right? Jupiter and Mercury are really opposites in a way. They exist as a pair. So where Mercury is left brain, Jupiter is right brain, and Jupiter is more about taking in the whole. Mercury is very pinpointed. It's very much about small details and putting them all together, whereas Jupiter is about seeing the whole picture, understanding the whole thing. Jupiter is more about images and feelings, whole concepts coming in. Jupiter can see the whole picture and then zoom in, whereas Mercury is going to see a little piece and then try to zoom out. So the Jupiter trine Mercury helps to kind of clarify things, because you get the up close and you get the far back whole, wide perspective. So, and having this configuration, right, having the Jupiter trine, having the Venus sextile, I think it's going to color this whole Mercury retrograde cycle, right, going all the way up until January 1st. And it's going to bring a little more, maybe ease in a way to the Mercury retrograde. And I think also, bring a kind of aspect of It's almost like a happy accident kind of feeling, right? Which relates to this new moon that we just had yesterday. New moon square from Neptune, something else that's greater than yourself is coming into this new moon, is coming into whatever kind of vision, whatever seed was being sown on the new moon. Now Mercury retrograde with the sextile to Venus and the trine to Jupiter, that's like maybe having to redo some of your communication things, but actually things turned out better than you thought that they would, or some unexpected but like kind of happy circumstance comes out of it, something that feels good. I think it's going to be a very interesting Mercury retrograde cycle to watch. It will be interesting to look at December 21st, right, which is a Thursday, and then Friday, December 22nd. December 21st is, December 22nd, I believe, is the day of the Cazimi. So it'll be interesting because the Cazimi is the midpoint of the Mercury retrograde cycle. So that kind of gives a reset to it in a way. So that may be like a junction point in a way. It may be a pivotal moment in the Mercury retrograde cycle, so a day to watch out for. And then immediately following that, Mercury is going to ingress back into Sagittarius, right? So Sagittarius is a little all over the place. Mercury in Sagittarius is a little bit all over the place. It can be a little more scattered. It doesn't have that grounding that Capricorn gives it. However, Sagittarius is the place that we've just had this new moon. It's sort of a place of vision right now. So it will be interesting to watch Mercury moving retrograde back into and then through a few of the last degrees of Sagittarius. And it'll be interesting to watch how, our kind of newly reflective thought function and communication function goes to re-examine the vision that we might be having from this new moon. So, some interesting things to watch out for. Let me know if this feels true to your life right now. Let me know if this feels wildly untrue to your life right now. I'm always really interested to know people's experiences and, how they're relating to these different astrological configurations. So, all right. Have a good one now.